Well, this was a very impromptu gathering of Tommy and myself.
Of old folks.
We were going to go out and have a cup of coffee today. And it evolved from having a cup of coffee together and reminiscing about my dad, because Tommy was my dad's best friend. My son heard about this and thought it would be a great idea to have Tommy share his moments starting
1950, what? 53? When were you born, Priscilla?
47.
47, yeah, about 53. I had gone to California with Leo Waring, and we came back, and Mike Welch introduced us at the Belmont Club. He said, I'm going to a new place today, you'll love it. It's a little club. So we came up here, and your grandmother was sitting here with some other ladies, and your father was tending bar, and we met your father for the first time, and it became a habit. Coming here was like wonderful. We loved it. This little club. Met lovely people. Of course, old Mr. Kirby, who's in the picture there, was always sitting in front of the television set. And Jack Bailey I met here, and your dad became my best friend, and Jack Harrington, and all those people. And then later on, I got a job here. I was traveling always, playing music. And I said to him one day, I saw my mother one day, and she was getting old. My 4 sisters were married. My brother Freddie was down at Cape. My brother Georgie was working in a band out of Chicago. And my mother looked weary and old. And I said, I've got to get a day job somewhere and stick around. So I was here that day, and he was talking about hiring a new bartender. And I said, Jack, hire me. I'll tend bar for you. He said, no, you keep traveling and leaving. And I said, no, my mother's getting old. She's not doing well. I want to stay here. So he hired me. That's how it all started. Yeah. He said, wear black, come in Monday morning, 9:30. The bar opened at 10. Wear black pants, a white shirt, and a black tie. That was the uniform. It looked good.
Yeah.
So that's how it all started. We were together for 100 years, it seems like. But it was great, and I made so many friends here, so many wonderful people that I met in this club, and your mother and father, of course, and you were a little kid running around. Iodine, they called you, remember?
Yeah, I do remember.
Yeah, that's how it happened.
Tommy is a musician. Tommy played here many nights with...
Well, I started the music thing here, and it became a big success. Some kid used to sit at the piano and play a few old songs, and it wasn't really professional.
Yeah.
I hired professional bands because I knew them all. I was a musician, and we'd pay a trio $45 for 4 hours. 3 people, $15 a piece. So that was pretty reasonable.
Yeah.
And it got to be a big thing. It'd be mobbed. And I would play here, of course, and it was just great. The whole thing was great. We had a wonderful group, a good mix of everything. And the conversation was always wonderful at the bar. I couldn't wait till 4:30, 5 o'clock, and the place would be packed. And, it'd be great till 6:30. Wonderful. And then at night we had entertainment, and of course we did business during the day. People come in during lunch, et cetera.
Brown bag.
Brown bag, sure.
Yeah.
They'd bring their lunch and have a few drinks. And then the City Hall became, the Hotel Mellon became the City Hall. So those people used to come in during the lunch hour, and we did business all day. And then at night, of course, business was great. Yeah, so it was a good thing for a lot of years. And then people were different. The people who worked here were decent, honest people. And you never had a problem with that. Wonderful. And wonderful for your father, of course.
Mr. Kirby.
He was here when I got here, yeah. And he'd been coming here since 1933, since they opened the place. He was like an early customer.
Was he with the water board?
He was, yeah, he was the water commissioner.
Water commissioner.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why he never drank. He said that's why he preserved the water. He never drank it.
Is that what he said?
Right, he said that, yeah.
That's so cute.
But we had great group of people, and there was never any trouble. It was a bar I could work in, you know, because there was never any, at least in my time here, you know. After I left, I don't know. I was very busy raising a family of my own, and so I wasn't here as often as I would like to have been. But it was great while I was here all those years.
Tell me if you recall, because that was before it was politically correct. Somebody named Tom Brown
Yes.
was a friend of Dad's.
Your father's friend, yeah. He was a black guy. He came here all the time, you know, as much as he could. And he'd come here and meet people. He went to Brown University, by the way. He's a graduate of Brown.
Yeah.
And he'd meet his ride here. He wouldn't drink. He'd just wait for the ride.
Yeah.
And someone said something to him, tried to abuse him one day, and your father threw them out, and they were good customers.
And they were a really
Yeah.
good customer.
Yeah, and Tom didn't spend any money, he didn't drink.
Yeah, yeah.
But he just wouldn't put up with that.
What was right.
Yeah.
He didn't put up
No,
with
no,
that.
no. That was
That's
wonderful.
One of the many things
Right.
that
That's right.
we had loved about my dad.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But then he acquired the beauty school, and he had to leave, and he left me in charge. He said, "You're going to manage the club." And I said, "Okay." And he left, and I was here more than 10 years after that.
Yeah.
And then later on, I worked part-time. So I spent like, I don't know, 20, 30 years.
Long,
Yeah, a long time. Yeah.
Knew him better.
I'd do it again, but I don't think
Tommy,
I could stand all those hours.
Tommy, I wish you could do it
I
again.
know, it was
Everybody
fun.
deserves some amount of peace.
Oh,
in
we
there.
had a lot of fun though. I mean, it was great comedy, and we had wonderful people come in, bright guys like Jack Harrington,
Yeah.
Jack Bailey, a lot of Jacks, yeah.
Jack, the
Jack.
artist. Jack.
Oh, Jack Coldwell.
Coldwell.
Right. And
Yeah.
a portrait artist, yeah. And all sorts of lovely people, and ladies,
Yeah.
yeah. But it was a great time.
Was this always for men and women, or in
Yeah.
fact?
No, it was
since
always
you were
for men.
here,
Oh,
it
yeah.
was?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but it was private.
They would
You
have-
had to have a membership at some
There was a time, yeah.
Yeah.
But they had bars exclusively for men, but they were called taverns,
Uh-huh.
and women couldn't go in.
Yeah.
You
But
couldn't do
this
that
was
today.
always
But no,
men
this
and
was
women.
always, yeah.
Good.
Anyone
Good.
come in, drink, ladies, guys bring their wives, especially on weekends, you know, Friday nights, Saturday nights, guys would come with their wives. Then go out to
I didn't know
dinner.
whether this had ever
Yeah.
initially been
No,
just
no,
men.
no,
Good.
no.
Yeah.
It was,
Now I know the answer to that
yeah.
question.
What else would you like to know? What else?
Everything that I don't.
But it was
remember
always a
is
fun
little-
place. It was always wonderful to be here, and it was quiet. I mean, in a way, it was not like one of those loud bars. You know, there was a bar in every corner of this town. You know, those were like neighborhood bars, they called them. But this was a little different. This was clubby. You know,
Yeah.
guys could bring their wives here, and it was always nice. And we had music, of course, as I said, weekends. We'd have different trios usually, you know, piano player with the drummer and the bass player, whatever.
Yeah.
We had a wonderful singer come in, would sing all the time, Bobby Cowell, I think the best singer. That type of music, you know, Frank Sinatra type,
Yeah.
the American Songbook. He'd come in and sing. God, he was wonderful. His name was Carlos Ayeracola, but he became Bobby Cowell. That's a professional name. Yeah.
What do you remember about Dad when Dad was in back of the bar being a bartender? What do you remember
he was
about him
the
as a
world
bartender?
champion. You couldn't light a cigarette. We used to do a thing like this. Put a cigarette in your mouth. You put a cigarette, you'd be the other end of the bar, bang. He had the gold, it was a gold cigarette lighter.
What was his
He did.
father's?
It was his father's, yeah.
That was his father's.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
Do you have that today? I don't know.
Yeah, I
Do
think
you?
it's at home
Yeah.
on my street. Yeah.
Well, he was very proud of that.
Yeah.
Gold cigarette lighter.
So he was
bang,
there.
he was there. Oh, yeah, he was. Efficiency, that was him. I was the opposite.
But that's why you were best friends.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
You compliment
Right,
one
right.
another. Yeah.
But he was, oh my God.
What,
That was him, efficient, yeah. But it was fun, and I was his clown, you know. I did the shtick behind the bar. But he liked it,
Yeah.
and people liked it, so it went over pretty good. We did a lot of business. Yeah, a lot of business here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was a lot of deep feeling for
yeah,
one another.
that was. Absolutely,
The
yeah.
patience
Well, it was
and
it was
the-
our little club,
Yeah.
you know, and you did things for each other, of course. And I remember this. This doesn't happen today, I don't think. I don't see it happen. If my car went to a garage for 3 or 4 days, I'd be borrowing someone's car from here. And, yeah, take my car. I'm not going to use it. I just live up the street or whatever. Or your father would give me your car. In fact, he gave me a Pontiac once, I remember. I drove it for a couple of years, an old Pontiac.
serious?
Yeah. Yeah. Sure, he did things
yeah.
like that. And during storms, I'd stay at your house, sleep over. You know, blizzard or something, we'd
Yeah.
have the place open. And I remember one night he said, we get up in the morning and the snow, oh my God, there's no traffic, of course. They hadn't plowed the streets. I said, I'm going to open a club. I called Mike Welch.
Welch.
He said, I'll help you. We'll 10 baht together. And he didn't want us to work. I said, it doesn't matter. We want to get down there and have fun. So I called the customers, and they walked down. The place was loaded. And the day when there was no transportation, you couldn't drive your car, there were no buses.
They made it.
We made a great day out of it, yeah.
That's-
Great time, yeah. That was, I don't know what year, but it was a great storm, I remember. In the early 50s, probably,
Yeah.
or before, I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't remember. Yeah,
But that is so much what I remember
yeah.
of hearing.
Well, this is the only place we came to.
Yeah.
We got accustomed to the club, and we didn't call it the Belmont Club, we just called it the
The
club.
club.
Call up, I'll see you down the club. Okay, bang, that was it. Down we go, be here, God. One night, they had to sleep over. People had,
Sleep over here because
yeah, they couldn't get home. Yeah, so they slept here. I slept at your house. Your father took me home. I couldn't get to Swansea.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I stayed your house. The next morning, you don't have to, well, we want to
My
open it.
mother was a great cook. So
Oh,
she probably made scrambled eggs and her
yeah,
toast and
yeah,
all that.
yeah,
She always loved
No, it was
cooking
wonderful.
for everybody.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
Did Mom come down here when Dad was
who?
bartending? Did my mother come down?
Yeah, she'd
When-
come down, but mostly in the evening, like Saturday or a big night when all the wives would be here.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she'd come down. Well, she was busy too, with you and
Yeah.
cooking
But they
and doing
were,
all that stuff. But at the beginning, they worked a lot together because there was no money when he took over. There was no money. The place was in debt and hock, you know. So they had to make that up and ate cornflakes. He told me for meals sometimes.
Oh,
Yeah,
I-
at the beginning. Yeah, and then he had his friend, his great friend, Norm Sarge.
Oh, Sarge.
See, your father opened this place in the morning and stayed till it closed. So Sarge should come in, say, go home for a couple of hours, take a nap, have lunch. So we would do that, get a break, and come back later.
Yeah.
And when I started working here, he told me, if Sarge wants something, give it to him. Anything he wants, doesn't matter, just give it to him.
Yeah.
And I realized why. He helped him so much when he was in need, you know, and
Yeah.
needed some help. Sarge gave it to him. He was a retired sergeant, of course.
Yes. And
Yeah.
he was here.
Yeah.
And that was the only break
Yeah.
Dad would have
Absolutely.
when he'd be working
Yeah.
18-hour days.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, Sarge would give him a
Sarge
break,
would come in.
go home and have lunch, and take a nap. He'd tell him, it would take 2 or 3 hours off. It was a big break.
Yeah.
Yeah, great, because he couldn't afford help.
No.
Yeah, yeah.
No, he couldn't.
No, so that was,
I remember him telling me he used to shovel
yeah,
parking lot
yeah,
by himself
Yeah.
with a shovel.
yeah. Well, you know, we'd make spaces for the
Yeah.
cars to come
For
in,
the
and
cars to
do the
come in.
driveway.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then we prospered. We had a guy come in with the truck and do the whole thing, and then when I came here, there was a tree in the driveway,
Yeah.
and cars would sometimes scrape at that tree. Took a beating,
Oh.
but then he had it removed because it cost a lot of money to have a big tree removed. But it was on
I
the
don't
edge of the
remember.
driveway, not in the middle, of course,
Yeah.
but at the edge of it. But cars would sometimes whack it on the way out.
I don't even remember.
And there was no macadam out there when I started working here.
Yeah.
It was dirt.
Just,
And on a rainy day with the mud, oh God, terrible. But we had it done, had it paved, you know.
yeah.
Things were looking good.
Ernie Collins. What he wrote, that's
Oh.
a name that comes
Oh, he
into
was
my
funny.
head.
He was wonderful.
He's one of
He
the,
called himself, he loved to play golf. He was like a 12 handicap. He wasn't a scratch player or anything, you know.
yeah.
But he called him, and he loved golf. The Sweet Swinger from Swansea.
Cool.
Ernest Tucker Collins.
He was one of the regulars
Yeah.
who were in, and there was Kirby, and there
And
was
Jack Harrington, my
Jack Harrington.
friend who I'd known all my life, was always here. And Phil J. Go and his wife, who was still living down near Horseneck Beach.
Isn't that wonderful? that
Yeah.
they're still well.
Yeah, they're still well, yeah. And who else? God, there were so many. Most, of course, have passed on since then, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's such a great group. What did you
But
say?
who lived
Or the
here
history of
before Dad and Mom and I? Did my grandfather live here with my dad?
There was a picture somewhere, and it told who built this house and who lived here.
Yeah.
And I think for a while it was like that someone rented rooms in this house. People rented rooms. But I'm not familiar with that. Even I don't remember that far back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The spillover, do you remember anything about when the Hotel Mellon was here?
Oh,
That
I
if
worked
there
in a
was
Hotel Mellon. I was at
spillover,
Bellhop. Yeah,
that they rented rooms on the third
yeah,
floor?
yeah. If they couldn't accommodate the people, yeah. And they didn't have a parking lot. They parked here.
Was
Yeah.
that prior to Prohibition?
It was 25 cents for parking overnight.
I
Imagine that.
I don't remember if it
What-
was prior to Prohibition, were rooms being rented to the Hotel Mellon?
I don't know that.
Yeah, I don't.
No.
I was.
But I remember your father telling this. Once a month, he would do the books at the bar there. He'd lock the doors, and there was a light on in the backyard. And he's doing the books one night, and the bell rang, meaning a car just tripped the bell in the backyard. So your father opened the door, went outside, and he said, "You're going to be staying at the Mellon?" The guy said, "Yeah." He said, "It's 25 cents for parking overnight." I said, "Okay." He said, "Is it worth your while to stay overnight, collect for parking, 25 cents?" He said, "No, I'm
No,
doing.
it was worth.
No, I'm working indoors. Yeah,
Yeah,
do his once a month. He'd do the books. Yeah. Stay till 4 in the morning or something. You know,
Yeah,
hard work after tending bar all night.
hard work.
Yeah,
Always.
but then he'd go home, get a couple hours sleep, and come back.
Start all over
Right,
again.
start all over. Yeah, it was a long time. But then, of course, things got better.
How long did Dad bartend here? How many years? From 47. I know the picture shows him behind
Yeah,
the bar,
47,
47.
50s.
That was the year I was born, but I wonder how many years he actually.
He was still tending bar when I came to work here.
So in the 50s,
Yeah,
he was still.
in the 50s, he was still here tending
He
bar.
was still here.
Yeah, then he hired some. Oh, and then he had to go and he was running the beauty school,
Because my grandmother retired,
right?
right?
And that's when he said, "You got to manage the place for me," and I did. And he went to the beauty school, and then he opened another beauty school in Taunton, and one in New Bedford. So he used to run around to 3 beauty schools, you know.
Yep,
Beside
and
this
you-
place,
and you took
I took care of
here.
this. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's how it went. Yeah, and we had no problems.
No.
Never had a problem. No.
It's
Imagine.
funny you keep saying that because
Yeah.
it was nice and it was an
Yeah,
easy
it was
place
easy.
to.
Yeah. All we had to do was. I said to him, "How am I going to manage? I don't know anything about managing the place." I said, "Tommy, you practically do it now." I said, "Well, like for example, how many Budweiser cases do you order every week? How many cases of Bud?" He said, "You don't have to do anything. Tatina comes in, the salesman. He was
Yeah.
also a customer.
Yeah,
What was his name? Joe Borge.
okay.
Tatina, they called him. You go in, we keep 20 cases a week, right?
Mm-hmm.
If there's 10 cases, he brings in 10 more cases. That's it. There's nothing to it. And it was pretty simple.
Yeah.
So even I could do it. And I was here for years doing that, running this place and having a great time. It wasn't like work, because all my friends were here. I'd come every day and see all my friends, Ernie Collins, Jack Harrington, Jack McNerney, all named Jack, by the way.
Yeah,
Jack
isn't
Brennan. Yeah, isn't that
Yeah.
strange? Very common name, I guess.
And they were all,
All Irish.
all different. Oh, it was. So
It was an
really
Irish
was
bar.
Irish
It
bar.
was, yeah. Except for me. Yeah,
Except for you.
Yeah, I brought my uncle's picture in an Arab garb once for St. Patrick's Day and put it up on the wall.
And somebody who was in your band,
Yeah.
who played the drums,
Yeah.
I can't remember his name.
Norman Jackson.
Norman
Oh,
Jackson.
what a great singer, yeah.
He,
And a great drummer.
yeah.
Wonderful. He used to work with me
I
too. Worked with me
remember.
about 10 years. Yeah.
People don't think we always had music. Music has been a part of this place
Sure.
since you
Yeah,
were here.
yeah. Yeah, we had lots of music here. One of the great jazz piano players in America used to play here. Dave McKenna. You could look him up and jazz things on your
Yeah.
computer. You know, you can't lie anymore. The computer will tell you everything. And Dave McKenna was born in Woonsocket, Rhode Island, and I got to know him because he was such a great player. Everyone got to know him. And I would hire him. He was living at the Cape at the time, and he'd come down on Monday nights and play for 4 hours, and we'd give him $35, and he'd stay at my house. Yeah,
Oh, that's neat.
yeah. $35 for Dave McKenna. Amazing.
For him.
But then later on it would be $1,000. We never hired him anymore,
Yeah,
of course.
yeah,
No.
yeah.
But I mean, that's what he would work for. He was a great, great genius jazz pianist. Wonderful.
Back in the days when Dad was here
Yeah.
and you were playing your horn
Yeah.
and you knew him, what things stick out in your mind about the friendship? Because that's what I want to know
Yeah.
more than anything. What things stick out in
Well,
your mind
he was
about
so
your
busy.
friendship with Dad?
Finally, like he belonged to the Quequechan Club and the other club down on the beach. If you belong to the Quequechan, you belong to that one. You know.
Yeah.
But he'd say, we're going to go down there. You and I and Johnny Alves, for example,
Oh,
my
yeah.
granddaughter Jack Harrington. Okay, so we'd meet him and say, I can't go. But he would give us permission to go and drink and put it on his tab. And, you know, we'd be in these fancy clubs drinking and having a
Oh,
good time.
nice.
But poor Jack was working all the
He
time.
was always working.
I know. He just,
That's
yeah, he was a
one of the
workaholic. He
things.
was,
He was
and then he got to own
always working.
property besides owning this and 3 beauty schools, and he bought houses and things like that, and
He was
really,
hard work.
really got into it.
He and
did
Manny
very-
Monas,
Yes.
tearing places apart.
That's right.
Rebuilding
A
them.
great, great
I remember
guy, a
it.
carpenter, came from Portugal,
Yeah,
and your father got him early and fell in love with him, and he could, he could do anything.
yeah. He
Could do
really
anything.
did.
Yeah. Manny Moniz, or Monis.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right. Oh,
Dad was hands-on.
Yeah.
He could do, he could do carpentry.
Yeah.
He could put roofs
Anything.
on buildings.
he said, in this country, it's easy. You put a window in, you go by the window. In my country, you build a whole thing. So imagine, they're really great carpenters because they apprentice, you know, for years.
Yeah,
To get to do that.
yeah, he really
Yeah.
appreciated people's
Yeah.
skills.
Oh, of course,
and
he
learned
did.
like crazy from
He,
him.
yeah.
Yeah. Tell us about all the people in the painting, because you are the only one who truly knows those names, those faces.
I think I'm the only one who's still living.
Well, I'm here.
Yeah, but you're not in the picture.
Oh, no, I know. Tell me about the people in the painting.
Okay, Priscilla. Of course, this is Mr. Kirby. He was the elder of the club, and he loved television. It was brand new then, as you can see, the old television set. And he'd sit there for hours and watch TV. And of course, this is my friend Jack Harrington. This is Jack Gleason, who was a bartender here part-time because he was a fireman full-time. And Jack Harrington was here, and Pencil Stripe Gus, he was a character, a funny guy, was here. And this is the racing commissioner, Thomas Fleming. He used to take us to the track, and we'd sit in the best seats and eat for free and drink. It was wonderful. And this is Blanche. The original girl sitting there was Mary Halligan, but she didn't want to be in the painting. So he had a substitute and paint Blanche's head in. And that was Blanche.
Did she work at the bank? Was she a bank?
I don't know what she
somebody who was
did. I think she worked at a bank or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, and of course this is Doc Dougherty with the mustache, always touching his mustache. And the guy with the cigar was always at the racetrack. I think he was a racetrack tout. His name was Darby Connors. And this, of course, is our owner, Jack Brennan, the owner. who has sat on a little table when he came in. Instead of sitting at the bar, he'd sit at that little table there. And that's me in the doorway with my trumpet coming in. So that's the history of this. And of course, as I said, Tommy Wong painted it. And it's like, this is the club. That's what it looked like. One lady there, that's it. But we had ladies come in all the time, wives and girlfriends, etc. But it's a beautiful painting. I love it.
What year?
It had to be in the 50s,
Yeah.
I'd say.
I think so.
Late 50s, when I started working here. So I was familiar with all these people. They were all customers.
How does the place look now compared to what it was then?
Oh,
Do you
it's-
see similarities or
Well, basically the same, you know. But the furniture's a little different, but the bar looks the same. Aye. It was a smaller bar at the time, much smaller.
that was
Yes,
right there?
yes, that was it.
Well, the wall
That
ended
was
where
the
the-
original bar.
Header is, right?
Yeah, the kitchen.
Yeah, the
Everyone
opening
used
was
to
on the
this.
other side, not here. There was no opening here.
Yeah.
This was on the other side. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Where the bartender's standing now. That was the opening. And let's see, what else was different? There was a stairwell behind the bartender going upstairs. There was one bathroom. The men and ladies both used it. There was no...